Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Today, we are going to discuss Tesla stock. This could be the stock story of the year, but for all of the wrong reasons. We will approach Tesla from multiple angles and discuss its potential rebound, or even if a rebound is possible. Elon Musk is not afraid to praise Tesla, and that has often been positive for the stock, but that party may be over. Let's dig in. We have Chris Markoch back with us today. How are you doing, Chris?
I'm doing well, Lacey. How are you?
Good. Thanks for asking. I'm excited to talk Tesla with you. So let's just get into it.
All
Chris,
right.
Tesla stock is down 68% this year. Is there a simple answer for what's going on here with the stock?
Well, there's an answer. I'm not sure it's that simple. Tesla's had several fundamental issues weighing on its stock price. For starters, the company is still having production problems with its plant in Shanghai. News of that just by itself sent the stock down 11%. Then there was news that broke that the company increased its incentive to U.S. customers to $7,500 if they took delivery by the end of the year. And that's confirming what many institutional investors are fearing, and that is that the company is going to miss pretty badly when it reports its earnings in January. That was just this week. Then when you take into account Elon Musk's recent purchase of Twitter and how much Twitter stock he's selling. Look, I understand that there are a lot of shareholders who bought Tesla at its high and are losing money on their investment. But historically, events like these are ones that investors shouldn't get too worked up about. I do believe that in short order, Elon Musk will be back at the helm of Tesla. But there's no doubt that there's a lot of news surrounding the stock right now, and none of it's good.
All right. So I understand what you're saying, but does that justify a drop of 68%?
The market is always looking ahead. And what the institutional investors are seeing is there's a lot more competition in the electric vehicle space. Tesla had the playing field to itself for a long time. Now there are many more companies, including mainstream companies like Ford and GM, that are actively involved in producing electric vehicles. And the effect of that will become more evident when the Biden administration's rebates kick in on January 1st. But that also assumes there will be eager buyers. The real icing on the cake is this weakening global economy and rising interest rates. That means consumers will be less likely to invest in a vehicle that is still priced as a luxury. In fact, there are already whispers that EV sales are slowing down nationally. So does that justify 68%? Well, the bears will argue that Tesla's always had a premium valuation and that there's nothing in the fundamentals short term that justify that premium valuation. So they're trying to get ahead of what is supposed to be a very negative earnings report.
Okay, but you say that the bulls and the bears may be disappointed. Why would the bears be disappointed?
Well, I guess you and I are recording this, and the market just opened today, and Tesla's up today after having been up yesterday. So there is some evidence that Tesla may have found a floor, but Tesla stock's always been fueled by emotion. It's an example of a stock being worth whatever investors are willing to pay. And to be fair, if you bought Tesla way back when it went public in 2010, Tesla stock is up over 7,000% in that time. The true believers see the company as more of a technology company than an EV company. And according to at least one analyst, retail investors have bought more Tesla stock over the last 6 months than they have done overall in the 60 months prior to December. I just wrote about that in an article that posted on MarketBeat. I think it was this morning. And this leads me to the point that the bears may be missing. For years, retail investors have been burned by selling into a panic only to see the same stock climb sharply as institutional investors jumped in to snap up the shares when they got cheap. Now, if we're talking about meme stocks like GameStop and AMC that have fundamental issues with their business models, that's one thing, but that's not the case with Tesla. Despite the fundamental challenges that Tesla's facing, the company's not going bankrupt, and I believe retail investors understand that, and that's why I put Tesla recently on my list of 5 down but not out stocks. The sell-off in Tesla stock seems disproportionate to the company's revenue and earnings growth. And even if that revenue and earnings growth slows down or even declines in the next quarter or two, the 5-year outlook still shows strong growth. My point is, when the economy becomes more favorable, Tesla will still be miles ahead of many of its competitors in the EV space.
So, Chris, who is going to win?
Well, if I honestly knew the answer to that, I'd be doing something else. But there's no doubt bulls continue to swim against a current of higher interest rates and what seems to be a near certainty of a recession in 2023. I believe we're in one now. But if Tesla lowers its guidance in 2023, the stock may have further to fall. And that's particularly true if the investors who are selling were part of those true believers. But for now, especially when you start looking at the price action in the last day or so, retail investors seem to still have conviction about the long-term future of Tesla. And if they continue to hold on to the stock with diamond hands, the short sellers may not get the low price that they're looking for on the stock.
All right, Chris, I think that's all the time we have right now. Thanks again for sharing your insight with us. To everyone watching, be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful or interesting. And don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date on our future content. If you have any questions or comments about Tesla or the topics we discussed, leave them down below and we'll do our best to respond to as many as we can. I went ahead and linked some of the Tesla articles from Chris in the description down below, so don't be shy. Head over to MarketBeat.com if you're interested in further analysis of Tesla and more stocks. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks again, Chris.
Thank you, Lacey.